And we are back, day 10. Technically, this is day 11, but yesterday we decided not to film. We're both feeling a little under the weather, as you can tell with my voice. Yesterday we came in, just didn't have the energy. We put 9 videos up in a row. Yesterday was just kind of an off day. Let's kind of go through what we did yesterday and then what we're gonna go do today. First off, what I'm gonna do is we glued this side yesterday with the super glue of this Eichler cabinet. The bottom side, I'm gonna show you in a few minutes. We're gonna go through and take off the L brackets that somebody added. We're going to go through and just secure and super glue these the shelves that we didn't glue up last week. That's the first thing I want to get done today. If you notice over here, we had a customer come in, drop off some chairs that we're going to re-glue up, oil, and just rehydrate. We're not going to refinish these, but they're all really loose. Those showed up. I was kind of surprised. There was a set of 8. I was expecting a few chairs, not a set of 8, but we'll make space for them. We'll knock them out. Beyond that, we have these bookshelves. These are for Peter Blake Art Gallery down in Laguna Beach. I've touched up all of the, I think it's 6 shelves and the poles. 2 of them we sprayed double sides. Today, what we're going to do is touch up the top side, get them back in the spray booth for some toner. And then yesterday, we didn't get a chance to put a second coat of sealer on this little bar stool. This guy is all sealed, sanded. We're going to put it back in the spray booth this afternoon and put a second coat of sealer on this one. And another one we did, let me grab it. We picked up the powder coat, the base, and the legs, which are sitting behind you. We're going to put that back together with the green and yellow desk for one of those George Nelson case units. That's going to be one of the first things we do. And remember from a few days ago, the bottom of that top was all painted with spray paint. I want to show you how we clean that off with the wax wash and steel wool. That'll be one of the things that get done today. I have one little incident that happened yesterday on this teak dining table. I went to put the leaves back in, which are like a bifold leaf. I must have bumped it, put it all together, opened the leaf, and there was a little 1/2-inch mark, not a scratch, just a little mark on it. Maybe it helped hit my belt buckle, something like that. Now it's back in the alley. We're going to respray it again, get it ready so that we can go back to the customer. To the main attraction, this I think it's a 2nd gen Eames chair. As you can see, inside looks just as good as the outside. Like we kind of go above and beyond on these chairs. They go for $8,000 to $12,000 a piece, depending on the condition, the generation, things like that. But as you can tell, we kind of take care of it inside and out. It's getting ready. The customer is picking out upholstery. We're going to go with leather. She wants something unique with some texture and kind of a bold color. We're going to, like I said, stay tuned for that. She's been texting me all morning on what color she likes. So stay tuned for the leather. But I said, if you come in, let me show you the beauty of this. Once you sand that down, you get all that bleached out rosewood. Now you can see that pure color again. All the metal is clean, hydrated. We clean it with WD-40 to protect it as well. Remember the other day when we finished up the day cleaning the metal. Now it's there, cleaned, polished, and protected. Last thing was yesterday, these the sliders, there was 3 of them that were busted. They were actually seized inside. I figured out how to get them off safely, cleaned them out with a tap and die on the drill bit, cleaned out the threads with some WD-40 as well. Excuse me. And then ordered a set of 5 for my guys over at Special K Products on Etsy. They're the guys that I buy for my shock mounts from, all the sliders when we need it. They replace these bushings as well. I'll put their link down below in the description. They are the best products, in my opinion, that resell any of these Eames chair hardware. So they also do, this one didn't have it. They also have the clips, the buttons, all of that can be purchased from Special K Products. I also wanted to show you these George Nelson cabinets before they go out to the customer. The black tops, removed. We cleaned them. You saw how I did that. We painted the 2-tone, the blue, and I think it's the gray on the sides. But when you open it up, you can see it's all the nice birch. And remember, all the drawers inside had all that sticky linen, glue, something like that. It was all inside of these. So remember how we cleaned those out about a week ago now. Powder coat has all been redone. All we're waiting for now is the customer to come in, tell us if they want to go with 1/4-inch glass, 1/2-inch glass. Let me know down in the comments below, which do you think? A little bit thicker of a glass so it goes up to the top, or 1/4 inch so it just sits down at the bottom and there's a lip? I'd like to know, get your opinion, because it could go either way. Oh, and I forgot to show you one thing on these. Remember how I mentioned that we have to do the backs of these drawers? It's because it's all an open steel frame, and when you open and close the drawer, you see everything is exposed. That's why I said these are such a hard piece to do. Multiple tape ups, multiple days to basically do 5 drawers. It's a lot of extra labor, a lot of extra time. But listen, these are the second time I've done these units for George Nelson. And I said, I love them. They're a lot of work. I didn't know what to expect when we first brought them into the shop, but now we have them down. So if you have one of these and want to get them restored, give us a call. First project of the day, I want to finish up this the steel case unit desk for George Nelson. And if you remember a few days ago, we talked about when someone used spray paint on the the metal unit, and they didn't take any consideration for the piece itself. It just made a mess. What I'm going to do, use my little wax wash remover, put a little bit on first, and let it soak in. Use some really fine steel wool, and see if I can get it to come off this way. It's going to be a lot easier than having to paint it. So we're going to try. Yep, there. So the wax wash will usually scrub it clean, but it's not always a guarantee. Just looking these up online, and the desk like this goes, I've seen them for $4,000 to $5,000, and then the dressers that you just saw, those go between like $3,500 and $4,500 on, depending on the website. So these are pretty valuable pieces. The desk here ended up running, I think, about $1,200, $1,300 to restore with the powder coat, all the painting, the materials, labor. And then so the customer did his own pickup and delivery. So we did not have to offer that to him. So this is coming off just a little slowly. What I may do is grab a little bit more of a coarse steel wool and see if it'll help me kind of eat that up. All right, so I grabbed this coarse steel wool. That didn't work. So I went up to the next level. I'm going to grab a little acetone and see if this acetone will remove it. If it's a spray paint, then it's usually acrylic. Acetone should take this right off. There we go. Look at that. As long as you wipe it off quickly, you even see some of the overspray. So we'll probably wipe it after we're done. Yeah, look at that. Just working slow. Wipe as we go so it doesn't re-dry onto the piece. To this big section here. There we go. Look at that. Just be mindful of the logos. Acetone can still ruin a logo. You don't want that to happen. We're just about done with that spot. I remember about a logo one time. I had a guy working for my shop, younger kid. I was training him, saw some potential in him. But, one of the days he decided to strip off a logo off these Sealig Z chairs. And if you go look those up and you see how much they're worth, we had a pair of them. And if you remove the logo, it makes them basically worthless. The customer was not very happy. We ended up figuring out how to remedy that by taking logos off of another chair from the same designer. And basically, because the Z chair is one of the most reproduced chairs, if you go look it up, you'll notice that. And the stamp is what gives it the value. So many people will try to take logos off. They'll damage the logos. Like I said, the value is in that logo right there, because then you can verify that it's made by that designer, that that manufacturer, or even if it came from Denmark or what country it came from. Needless to say, that guy doesn't work here anymore, and it was not Ivan. I got myself a clean rag and some fresh acetone, so I can kind of just do one last wipe down on the entire piece. This is just going to make sure there's no overspray or any of the little smearing marks from leftover residue. So back away from that logo. A lot of times the ink is oil based. So if that ink is oil based, acetone will just take that right off. One of the biggest things I've seen here are those old plug-ins that you would do for air fresheners. Customers would remove them to vacuum. They'd put it on their dining tables. It would tip over. In the matter of vacuuming their room, the stuff would seep out the oil. We'd go and wipe it clean. Customer would wipe off, a 3 or 4 inch section of lacquer from their table, and they'd call us to fix it. So I said, that's one of the biggest thing. I know just with the way things are going now in the country, a lot of people are taking out, getting rid of those. They don't like having those chemicals in their house anymore. So we actually haven't seen that problem as often as we used to. Right now it's nail polish remover. That's the biggest one we've seen lately, probably in 2024. There's somebody spilled nail polish remover doing their nails on their, nicely refinished table. First thing I want to do is grab the new base that we just had powder coated. This desk is actually kind of unique because it is interchangeable. If I turn this around the other direction, it'll be a left-hand drawer. If I turn it the way it is, it'll be a right-hand drawer, one or the other. But get that lined up. But like at Moore's Refinishing, we don't leave anything untouched. We're going to clean the heads of the screws, take off any of the old tarnish. This one has some of the white paint as well. We're going to clean that up. There's these little things that really set us apart. Now we have a nice clean silver head. It's hard. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but now it's clean. It's not perfect. It's an old screw, but it's better than seeing some white, white paint sitting on the screw heads. I'm gonna button these all up, and then we'll be back to put the drawers in. Okay, we finished the screws, but before that, I wanted to get the feet cleaned up. Really hard to tell, but there's a lot of paint left on it from when the other person spray painted over these. What I have in here right now is the other 6 legs, or the 5 legs, and we swished them around a little bit. They're getting clean, but what I'm going to do now is take this stuff from this acetone, take a little brush, and you can see already we still have to clean the metal. It's really rusted. But step 1 is getting all that old paint off. It's just gonna make your piece look real, kind of real cheap if you wouldn't have done this. You want it nice and clean, nice and shiny. And so even now you can see there's the difference between the white and then the clean one. Now we'll polish that up the same way we did yesterday and get these ready to go. Okay, I got the sliders on the frame. I have one more here again that I'm going to show you in case you missed it last time. We're going to use the drill. Use our little sandpaper and just use it kind of like a lathe. You can start seeing that rust starting to come off. These are really bad. They're in really bad shape, so it'll take a couple minutes to really get this looking good. That's the beauty of having one of these electric, power cordless drills. Put it on, you could use it. You don't actually have to scrub this by hand. Let the machine do the work. Just a little bit right in that crack. And the sponge. I'll give it one more little polishing. And it's good to go. All right, now I'm going to grab that leg section. I'm going to put it on the concrete so I have a strong back when I tap it in. These are more like pressed sliders. They don't thread in, they don't screw in. You got to just basically tap them and get them to press into the little hole. Do the other side. Actually, you could feel them pop in when you're tapping them down. Get them up here. Make sure we put it on the correct way. We'll get those clean screws back in. And see, now you can see it's starting to get put back together. It's starting to look whole again. And look at the difference of just cleaning up the, the bottom section, getting all that white paint removed. It just takes your, your restoration to the next level. So clean screws. What we're going to do is flip it back over, and then the last step we'll have in this is polishing the top with wax, just like we did the black ones from just the other day. If you take a look at these screws, it had one missing, and as you can see, there's 3 different styles. It looks like they've fallen out over the years. They've been mismatched. I'm going to make a quick trip to Home Depot. I'm going to go purchase that. Hopefully they have them. If not, I got to go to another store called McFadden Hardware. They usually have every thread, every size, every type of head placing, which these are like a flat head. But what I want to do first, just so I can show this off to you before I run, and grab lunch and go to Home Depot, is to slide the drawers in and just show you how beautiful this cabinet is. So number 2. Let's go grab the next one. And just like the blue and gray ones, these are all painted on the backside. The insides are clean. It's, basically I just have to put the hardware back on the drawer faces. And this one will be good to go back to the customer. Let's see. I think we're good. Let me check. Let me try something, because if you notice, this gap is a little different than this gap. We know that this is the top because it's where the logo was. It's not here on this cabinet, but the nails are still existing. But it's possible when it came in, they were in the wrong place. So let's just swap it out and see. Let's see if this changes anything. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, the gap is a little bit more even now. So I said, sometimes that happens. They get moved, they get purchased at estate sales or auction houses, and they just throw them back in. We just do our investigating and know the top one always has the logo. This one's missing, but like I said, it had the nails, still there. And then, but these two could easily be swapped around. I said, I'm going to go to Home Depot. We'll be back after lunch. Okay, as you can see, we're just about done with it. I'm just wiping off that last coat of wax that I put on the top to kind of clean it, polish it, get all the dirt off of it. You can see too on the front, everything is put back in. You saw that earlier today. We actually reassembled some new screws on the support bar and then added and cleaned the screws for the support trussel. Listen, the customer's coming in about 45 minutes. We're lucky we got this done this afternoon because he's not available until after the, I think it's Valentine's Day. He's going to go out of town for 2 weeks. So I'm glad I got it done today. We finished it up and it'll be out of here this afternoon. While I wait for that customer to show up, I'm going to finish gluing these shelves that were not glued last week, which is they're a little thinner. These are the 3/4. These are about 1/2 inch or 5/8. We want to make sure all the joints there are glued up. Like I said, we're going to run that wood super glue down in it, so that way it soaks in all those little corners, those cracks. Make sure to wipe it down with the wax wash. The thing is just kind of slow. You do not want to activate it right away because you want this stuff to run down in all of the little nooks and crannies. We try to add yellow glue wherever possible, but in this situation, we're not going to tear apart the whole cabinet just to add a little bit of yellow glue. This will tighten it all back up, fill the cracks. You can see here it's starting to soak in at the bottom. So that's what we want to see. And we'll go around too. And there's a few of these blocks missing. We're going to fix that probably tomorrow after we get these stripped. Once it's kind of clean, then I can grab my activator, quick spray, and this will just let it do its thing. I'm going to do the next 3 or 4 shelves, get that done, and then get back in the spray booth and finish that teak, what is it, teak bar stool. All right, I think I got everything done that I wanted to today. What it is the customer came and picked up that desk just a few minutes ago. These are now ready to go. We're waiting for the customer to call us back. Tomorrow morning, I have to go to Laguna Beach to Peter Blake Art Gallery, pick up a few more pieces. Can't wait to show you what he's bringing into us this time. He always brings us the coolest pieces. And when I get back, then we'll start working on the bookshelves and then this table that's sitting over here. We're going to get that buttoned up, and we'll go from there. I'm not feeling the best today. I'm going to go home, get some rest, get back here tomorrow. See you later.